How to make kombucha tea. If you have been one of the people that I've given SCOBY to, you're probably scratching your head wondering what all of the written instructions are, or my gobbledygook of verbal instructions are, so I thought it was just going to be as easy to make a video. So I've got all of my products and everything laid out this morning. I have started a new batch, but I'm going to kind of back up here and show you then what you need to do to make your next batch of kombucha. So if you have received a SCOBY or you have a SCOBY at home that is in the tea, this is probably what it looks like. This is one of mine, and this is a gallon jar. This is a green tea right here, and this is the SCOBY that's on top. This one started from another batch that I had made a long time ago, but you can see that it's growing and it's getting big and it's nice and healthy. So what we're going to do now, this has been sitting now for about 4 or 5 days, so this is ready to go. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take the SCOBY off of the top. So I just have a little bowl here, and all you need to do is just reach in and grab a hold of it. Make sure your hands are clean, of course. We're going to take this guy out of here. We're going to put him in the bowl. Now what we're going to do also is we're going to add 2 cups of this liquid in with him, and this is going to be the starter then for the next batch of kombucha. This is a 1/2 cup measure. So I'm just going to measure out 4 of these. All right. And we're just going to set this aside. Now then, this is the tea that's going to be ready to go into second ferment. If you want to do a second fermentation, you might just want to leave this and you might want to drink it like this. This is fine too. It should have a little bit of natural fermentation, but some people like it a little more fizzy. So then if you go ahead and go on to the second ferment, you can add raisins, you can add fruit, whatever you would like to add to this batch right here, and then let it set for 3 or 4 more days. It will get a little fizzier, and then it will give that fruit a little time to absorb the kombucha, to absorb everything that's going on there, and then you will filter that out. But this morning what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make a mint infusion with this. So I've got my mint that I grew here at the house. I've made a tea with this as well, and I've already got the mint sorted out here. I'm going to give it a little press, get the rest of the liquid out. There's still some leaves in there, but that's okay, that doesn't matter. Set that aside. I need to add some sugar to this though. So I'm going to throw in about a 1/2 cup. Give it a stir. Remember, when working with all of this, you want to use plastic or silicone or something. You don't want metal. You want non-reactive tools. So I'm going to give this a stir. Make sure that sugar's dissolved. Okay, that's good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump this over into this bowl. If you can see, this kind of has a pour spout on it, so that's going to come in handy. Now I'm going to take this and pour my kombucha over into this. All right, now I've got my container that's ready to go. What I'm going to do now, I have my boiling water. I don't have my tea bags. I'm going to make another batch of green. I like these Bigelow green that I found. They're 4 bags in a pouch. So you open 1 pouch and your bags are already open, as opposed to having to tear open 4 bags. Or 8 bags, as the case may be. So we're going to go ahead now. Get these guys going. They've got nice long strings too, I like that. 8 tea bags. 8 tea bags for this. 1 cup of sugar. Okay, we're going to let that set now for about 5 minutes. I found that's a good time to let the tea steep. After this steeps for about 5 minutes, then we'll take the tea bags out, we'll give it a stir, make sure that sugar is dissolved. We will then fill with the cold water. Probably do about the 3/4 mark, because remember now you're going to be putting your SCOBY with the 2 cups of liquid back in here. So that 2 cups of liquid is going to take up a lot of the space as well. And your SCOBY is going to take up some space. So what I'm going to do though is I do have another batch that's here that I had started earlier, and so we'll just kind of move on over to this. This is a black tea that I had made earlier. The kombucha that came off of that, I added a blueberry puree. So that's what you see down in there. This is just a quart jar. I put 2 tablespoons of blueberry down in there. Now this it's ready to drink today, or I can let it set for 3 days, up to 3 days, and let it ferment a little more and get a little more fizzy. But I'll probably drink most of this before that 3 days is up. So then here's my black tea that I have started for my black tea kombucha. This was, again, the 8 tea bags, 1 cup of sugar, and the water. Now I have my SCOBY from before, and this one's big. This one needs to be separated. This is a beautiful SCOBY that my niece April gave me a while ago, and it's reproducing and reproducing, and I really need to rehome it. So we'll put that in there. 2 cups of liquid. Now then what we do is we take our cover. I just had some muslin. They tell you that you should use cheesecloth, but I found the muslin is fine as well. I just cut a square. Cover that. Secure it with a rubber band. We're good to go. We'll have kombucha in 7 days, or probably sooner than that. So the hardest part, seriously, is doing it for the very first time, and then after you've made it, it just becomes second nature. You just know what to do. So now this kombucha back here that I've infused with the mint tea, what I will do is I have my jars, I have a strainer, and I will probably make a mess doing this. I'm going to now pour into, and it helps if you have somebody to help you, but this morning I do not. I'm gonna pour this in. See how it's got fizz on it already? That's beautiful. I've been very, very fortunate. I have with my kombucha making that I get nice fermentation on the first ferment. So I'm gonna set that guy aside. These little strainers you can buy pretty much anywhere. I think I got a set of them. There's 3 different sizes, but this small one really comes in handy for straining out when you're making your drinks like this. I have more in there, I just don't have enough jars. So we'll go ahead, strain into here. Okay. Now these are ready for lids and rings. These can set out. I could put some grape or raisins down in there, give it a little bit more fermentation so it's a little fizzier, or I can leave it like this. I think that this batch I'll just leave it as it is. So there you go. There is your crash tutorial on how to make kombucha. Enjoy.